What's up all you cool cats and shop rats? Welcome back to Rule Hard Garage. Today, I've got a hell of a video for you. We're going to go disc brake. So stick around, check that out. You'll see how we're going disc brake and how good it works once we're all finished up. But let's just jump into it. It is Friday. I just got home from work. And what's better when you walk in the door, just get home from work, nice easy day, and Christmas. Eventually, I got those brakes off. But I struggled. I struggled a lot. Mainly because I'm an idiot. This is like almost the last piece of the puzzle, so let's get to it. This should be brake proportioning valve from Speedway Motors, which, by the way, if you guys have never ordered anything from these guys, the shipping is ridiculously fast. Alright, so this is our brake proportioning valve. It's got a brake switch built in, so it'll be nice and clean. It's adjustable, and this is so that we can adjust our engagement from the rear brakes to the front brakes. When you go to disc brake, your rear brakes and your front drums originally tend to kind of all engage at the same time. Since we're changing the front brakes, we're going to have different size pistons and stuff, plus it clamps differently because it's the disc brake. We don't want our rears to come on and lock up before our front brakes. So this is nice and adjustable so that we can get everything in, get it bled, and then we can go out, tune it, and dial it in. But let's check out the disc brake kit, because I didn't buy necessarily a kit. Most of the kits that you get are designed for the 49 to the 53. We got a regular master cylinder. So what I did, and I'll show you that in a second, is I got a Mustang master cylinder, and from a 1970 Mustang. Got this brake proportioning kit, and then we've got a, I think the company is called, what is it? Auto City Classic. They got a bunch of different brake kits on there, but this one is supposed to allow us to use our stock wheels. It's just the discs, the calipers, and all the crap for the front, not the master cylinder, none of that junk. And it also comes with slotted rotors, so let's check those out. Looks like our brackets. Those are some nice heavy-duty brackets there. Zinc coated, it looks like. Nice welds. Got our rubber hoses for the front caliper. Looks like new dust caps, new bearings, hardware, some more brackets. There must be instructions. Here's the instruction kit. Oh yeah. Look at them beauties. Look at them beauties. Nice! Alright. Now, let's make all of this go on there. getting started on this brake kit here. I actually started to shoot a time lapse, and I ended up taking it on, putting it off, taking it on, putting it off a whole bunch of times. The instructions say that you may have to grind this out, and that is to fit or to clear your steering arm here, just because these steering arms aren't all shaped the same. So they just say, you know, some grinding may be necessary. So that was expected, and this is what mine looks like. And I even had to go in and put a little extra notch in there because there's a piece of casting on the inside corner of that was causing some issues. So we've got that all handled and taken care of. One thing sort of annoying is that it says use the lock washer. Well, there is no lock washer. Luckily I have some lock washers, so I'm going to put one on, but the lock washer they're claiming is not provided, apparently. Also, they say to use the short bolt on one side. As you can see, we have a short one here, but this short one was not supplied with the kit. I took the one in the kit and I shortened it down. I don't know why they're all for the same length when it says one's supposed to be short, but that's what we got. Now before we throw this in, I'm going to show you how I shorten this real quick. Nothing crazy. You just need a square and a belt grinder, something of that sort. And if you're going to do multiple ones, or you just want it to be accurate, it's a pretty simple trick. So let's check that out, and then we'll jump into throwing that on. Alright, so we're going to shorten this bolt. I'm going to show you an easy way to get, you know, an accurate point. You know, you want to shorten this a certain amount. Say you got to do more than one. How you're going to get them both the same and kind of nice and good, right? So got a regular old square here, and I got it loose. We're going to slide it up till it just hits the bolt right there. Tighten it up. But we're right at about inch and 3/16, I would say. So for this one, we're going to try to take off about 1/8. We're going to take 1/8 out of it. So for inch and 3/16, there's 1/16. There's 1/8. So now we're going to take this over to the grinder. We're going to grind it down, and then we'll just keep taking this and sticking it on here until this touches that. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. Thing with this kit that is odd is it doesn't come with crush washers. apparently, which is not a big deal. But one caliper came with this bolt and 2 crush washers. The other caliper just came with a plug. But then they also sent these banjo bolts so that you can put them in. It's just inconsistent, which is just kind of strange. But we're going to get the brake lines put on. We're going to go get some brake line. We're going to go get some crush washers and see if we can get this finished up. Alright, so as you can see, we got the brakes on and we got them plumbed. So, let me show you up here. I didn't show you this because what happened is my buddy Colin came over. Where are we at here? Where are we at? My buddy Colin came over and you know, he's one of those guys where we kind of hit on the same level, and I knew we had shit to get done, and we just had some beers and hit it. So this is the proportioning valve. We got that mounted right there. So we pulled off the windshield washer holder accessory. There is the Mustang master cylinder. It's a 70 Mustang master cylinder, and it's dual circuit. That way it's safer. If we lose one brake line, like say we bust a brake line or something, we'll still have brakes, half the brakes. Mounting it here is going to allow me to hook up the, where's it at? The brake light switch, which is missing in action, but it's around here somewhere. Either way, that'll go on right there. This here, you adjust that when you need to adjust your basically your flow or your proportioning from the front to the rear brakes. That way the rear brakes don't lock up, since this car didn't come with discs in the front originally. So then here, this is our rear out. That is feeding down to that distribution block that was already existing that fed all the brakes. We just plugged out the ones that did feed the front brakes, fed in for the rear brakes there, and that line is still existing. All the rear brakes are basically existing from that point on, what was already there. 2 lines for the front. This one coming out of the bottom, and that runs around here straight down to there, connects to the rubber line. And this one here runs down, runs over along the frame rail where the original one did, and over and around and right there. We're going to have to do a little bit of protecting with some of these. We're going to take some rubber hose and try to protect from rubbing, just kind of adjust. But it's all steel line, and it's bent up pretty good. You know, this isn't the best. It's good enough, but it's also not copper line that's just kind of hand bent and strung, you know, wherever. So we did a decent job, I think. Now that I showed that to you guys, we need to bleed these brakes and test them out. All right, so I know I said that I was going to have Lindsay or Miley help me bleed the brakes, but I thought this would be the perfect opportunity to talk about some alternative ways to bleed brakes if you don't have 2 people. So personally, in the past, I have used those cheap Mighty Vac things. Those do work. I feel like once you use them, though, they take a crap. And I don't know where the rig is at, but me and Colin last night tried to use a spray bottle pump. Where the hell did it go? Anyways, you use a spray bottle pump and a hose. You can look it up on YouTube, and you use the spray bottle pump to pump all the fluid out. That didn't bleed the brakes, but hold on. Workshop problems. It didn't bleed the brakes, but it did allow us to get fluid or get air out of the system, or some air out of the system, and get fluid through all the lines. So it kind of worked, but we still didn't have any pedal pressure. So instead of having them help me, I was going to try a method that I've never tried before, and it worked. It worked. So I'm going to show you exactly what that is and just kind of give you the gist of it. So all I have here is a bottle of brake fluid. It was about a third full. A hose. I'm using this stiff clear one because it it was allowing us to, it's stiff, so it wasn't curling up inside. Because the key to this is that it's got to go all the way to the bottom, and we don't want any air to get pulled back into this when we're pumping the pedal. There's a zip tie there. That zip tie is set at just the top height, if I can move the lid here, just the height of the bottle right there, if you can see that. And the reason that is purely to keep it from pulling out like that. Okay, then you're going to take this hose here and you're going to stick it onto your caliper. Now, I don't know what size hose this is. Whatever size fits the bleeders on your calipers or your drums, whatever you're bleeding, just find the hose that fits. That's the key. It's not rocket science. Before you put it on, though, I do recommend using the box end of the wrench so the wrench holds itself up there so you're not screwing around trying to get this to fit in the right spot when you're in a hurry. Wrench on, hook your line up, loosen it 1/4, go into the car. You're going to be pumping your pedals real slowly, nice and easy. You're going to have the lid off to the top of your master cylinder, and it's key that you want to make sure that your master cylinder stays full. If you don't let the master cylinder stay full, you're going to run it dry, and you're going to have to redo every single process that you've just done. Okay, now another key here is that you always want to start with the wheel that's furthest away from the master cylinder. So in that case, that wheel there, the rear passenger, is opposite of the master cylinder, that's front passenger. So start there, slowly pump your brakes, maybe about 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times. Close your bleeder, move to the next wheel. So in this case, that would be the driver's rear. Then the next wheel, front passenger. The next wheel, front drivers. The whole time, always keep checking that master cylinder. Do not let the master cylinder go dry. And once you're all done, clean it up. You're probably going to have a mess that looks something like that. Gloves would be nice. Don't touch your car with brake fluid. It's not good for the paint. And clean up your mess and go enjoy it. This worked. It worked. I've never done this before, and it's dead simple. So this car is leading us on a path of a lot of learning, because if I would have known that it was this easy a long time ago, I'd have been doing this forever. All right, brakes are bled. Now I'm gonna explain to you guys about how to set up this proportioning valve. Safe area, blah, 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 blah. Basically, go to a parking lot, drive 30 miles an hour, jam the brakes down, and see if the rear brakes lock up before the fronts do. Make an adjustment to your proportioning valve, adjust it, and it says here, decrease the rear brake pressure by turning the knob in a counterclockwise, so backing it out. So if your back brakes did lock up, we'd back it out, and then if they weren't, then you could go the other direction and fine-tune the differential between your front and rear brakes using this knob. So that's what we're going to do now. Hopefully we don't have issues with this. A problem that a lot of people claim that they have is no matter what they do on the proportioning valve, they always end up having the back brakes lock up, and they have to screw around with master cylinders and different proportioning valves and blah, blah, blah. Hopefully we chose the right parts and that doesn't happen. So let's just hop in, take it for a ride, and see what happens. get a tank full of gas in this, because I'm a little worried about the gas tank leaking around the seams, and we've not put a whole ton of gas in it. So also we ran out of gas once already, so 4 gallons, 5 gallons at a time isn't doing the trick, but this is good. I just realized that we don't know if the e-brake sticks, and now that the brakes aren't sticking, it likes to roll. So I'm torn between shutting the car off and it not starting for who knows why, and the car rolling away when I let off the brakes. I think what I'm going to do is stick something under the tire. It's probably something in the trunk, but I think the wallet will be all right. Right now, we got to get our wallet out of there and get back in the car and stop it before it rolls away and hits the door. Woo! Taking back roads so we don't get pulled over. I'm gonna try to get into the brakes hard on the way back and see, because they seem to just feel good. They're not locking up in the rear, and I don't know if that's because we don't have the rears adjusted maybe the right way or what, but the pedal feels firm. We've not touched the proportioning valve. All right, 3 on the tree, bias ply tires, shifting with one hand. All right, we're gonna try to stop pretty hard here. See. Yeah, it wasn't too bad. Didn't lock up, but it stopped fast. And, you know, part of this, I think we've got, you know, that 1/2 inch or 1 inch in the master cylinder that we're missing because the push rod. So maybe that little bit of extra pressure will help. I don't know. I'm fucking happy though, the way that it works right now. Well, I was totally right. And the push rod was definitely, I wouldn't say causing an issue, but it was preventing us from getting full pressure on the brakes. So I didn't actually go out and tune the disc brakes that day or tune the proportioning valve, because I didn't think there really was much of a point to do it if we didn't have the brakes working exactly how they're supposed to. I did, however, get the correct part, the Heim joint that I needed so that we could connect the adjustable push rod, fix the play in the pedal, blah, blah, blah. Got all that stuff going. And then I went out and I was going to film us adjusting and tuning the brakes, but really they were like dead on. I'd make one small adjustment and they were perfect. So there really wasn't much of a video there. Yeah, so the brakes are done. That's it. That's it. It's that simple, really. That was easy. Well, easy for you guys, not for me. It was a lot of hard work. Well, that's all that we have for today, guys. Thank you guys so much for clicking these videos, watching these videos, all the new subscribers, all that stuff. Yeah, do that thing, hit the bells, subscribe, blah, blah, blah. We got a lot more videos to come, so until next time, peace!